Hi YouTube, my name is Susie. This is my first vlog for Anthropology 101 course at Baruch College this summer. So I'm actually producing this YouTube in my home because I don't want to feel embarrassed if I like webcam myself somewhere else. So there are several things I want to talk about in this video. Uh, so what I've learned so far in this class has been very interesting. I've never taken any anthropology class before. Um, so first of all, I want to talk about one of the reading that we've done in the past week. It's based on Lara Boroditsky's theory of how human knowledge shaped how humans' linguistic skills or language human how language shape people's perception. And I think it's very important for all of us to realize, to know the fact that um, that ethnos we should not be, there shouldn't exist there shouldn't exist such bias of or ethnocentric um, idea of how you think that certain cultures are more superior than the others, because you see everyone comes from very different cultural background. And I would say that whatever language that we speak influence the way that we think about things. For example, I come from a Chinese family, and I think that when I was small, my Mandarin skill actually shaped the way I think about things. I was taught to be more conservative, and also I think that Chinese words, every single Chinese words are very specific, comparing to English, because every term of English can be very broad, but in Chinese, every single term must be very specific in order for Chinese people to express themselves. So, and I think that's why Chinese people are more careful with the way they say each word, and which make them seem very conservative, comparing to Westerners. And I really do think that certain different cultural backgrounds influence the way we value different things and the way we perceive different things. Therefore, we should not judge people easily based on what you've learned in the past, or based on what you've learned from your own culture, because every culture can be very different to each other. Some things that might seem pretty normal in some culture might seem to be abnormal in other cultures. Therefore, I think before you judge someone or even some people, you really have to look into their cultures and study why they speak in certain ways, why they respond to things in certain ways. And I think using one of the examples that we're studying in our class right now, which is black girls twerking. And to be honest, this is my first time publicly talking about twerking, because in Chinese culture, twerking is a very abnormal thing, because Chinese people think that women should treasure their own bodies more. They should not show off in the public. It's very impolite. It's very ruining women's reputation if you twerk in the public, or even if you twerk in front of your webcam. But then, well, obviously for Westerners, twerking is a very common thing, because the media in especially United States promotes the idea that women should show off their bodies, because females' bodies are very beautiful. So you should try to show off and then be sexy. This is how the American culture is like. And I've done in the past 2 days, I've actually interviewed 3 people. Two of them are my friends, and one of them is a very random person that I met on the street, and I was being very random too. But I guess it was fine because I'll never see her again. So then I met her at the in front of the bar for FIFA. Anyway, two of the friends that I interviewed, one of them is the local. She was she's an ABC, which is Chinese, American-born Chinese. So she's already very whitewashed already. And then when I told her that, oh, how do you think about twerking? I'm like studying on it right now. And then she said, oh, I think that's very normal. I mean, she didn't look surprised. She just looked very calm. She said, "Oh, that's very normal in American culture." Well, obviously, she think of herself as American already. Um, and then I don't know. She just gave me a smile that, oh, I think twerking is very sexy for girls to show off their butts. And yeah, and another friend that I interview is my Chinese friend. She's very local Chinese. She just moved from Beijing to America. When I told her about twerking, and she's like, oh, she gave me the look that, wow, like, that's kind of weird. Like, she asked me, do your friend other American friends twerk? I'm like, well, I don't know, but then I'm studying on twerking right now, and she looked very shocked. Her face was very kind of blanked out when I told her that I'm like, when I was asking her about twerking, her face actually blanked out, and then I think she was trying to avoid answering me in certain ways, to actually hold her reputation of, oh, she's a good girl, and things like that. And well, my time is going off, so I'm trying to be fast right now. One of is one last person is the woman that I met outside of the Celtic pub in Times Square for FIFA. So she's a fan for Netherlands, but I think she's American. So I asked her, so how do you think of twerking? Because I'm studying on twerking right now for an anthropology class. And then, sorry, my leg. And then she said, oh, uh, she said that, oh, it's why are you guys studying on that? And she seemed pretty interested in what we've learned so far for twerking. I think she herself has never experienced twerking. I mean, has never twerked before, but then she's very interested in people who have been twerking, and then she thinks it's a very interest. She thinks twerking is a very how do you say? It's a very it's a very interesting to do for a woman. And she told me that she has never heard of any of her friend who twerked before, probably because of her age. I suppose she's around like 28. That's why I think probably a woman at her age would not just publicly talk about, oh, I twerk in front of my webcam before. But she does not seem very shocked or anything. Just she seemed pretty calm, and she seems to be interested in. I suppose that she'll probably go back after she go home that day. She probably have already looked on what like some of the twerking videos already, and then she's like, oh, it's twerking, is Rihanna the icon for twerking? So I suppose that twerking is already a very common things in the public of this of American culture. So yes, um, therefore I think from the reactions that I got from three different people, one of them being the local American older lady, and the others are, one is more Americanized Asian, and one is just very local Chinese. I think that different cultures do influence the way people perceive things. So then twerking might seem as being very abnormal in, for example, Chinese culture, but then twerking is definitely a very common thing in American culture, since America promotes the concept that, oh, women are beautiful, women's bodies are very beautiful, and women should try to show off their the, the beautiful features of their body as much as they can. So yes, I guess this is the end of my first vlog. Thank you.